Welcome to Job Search News, your update on professional hiring. Hiring is cool. The Fed says employment is stagnant and remote roles are seeing a flood of applicants. Let's unpack the headlines and see what we need to know for your job search. We're going to start with jobless claims. Economists from JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs estimate initial jobless claims fell to about 217,000 for the week ending October 11th, down from 235,000 the previous week. This is a story from Reuters. This suggests that layoffs remain manageable, but that doesn't mean hiring is strong. The labor market is still sluggish. Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, said the economy might be on firmer ground, but hiring remains low, and so does firing. The signal's neither boom nor bust, more of a wait-and-see mode. But for job seekers, this means the window hasn't slammed shut. Openings may remain few and far between, but there still are jobs to go after. Remote jobs. Remote-first companies like Dropbox, Atlassian say they're getting inundated with applications, while only about 8% of job openings are fully remote. Those roles receive about 35% of applicants. So if you're targeting remote work, you need to move fast, make your application stand out, make sure you're customizing your application for each job so that you come to the top of the resume stack. And you can do that with ChatGPT. You can do that with something like Betterthing.ai to customize your resume for every job, give you a better shot at getting to the top. It's especially important for these remote jobs. Major firms across industries continue announcing cuts, driven by automation, cost pressure, and strategic pivots. For mid-career professionals, it's no longer just, is my job safe, but also, how do I articulate my immediate value so I'm not on the chopping block? There's a risk out there. We're all worried about it. How do you minimize that risk for yourself? We've confirmed the hiring slowdown from LinkedIn. Data from LinkedIn shows that hiring has lost momentum in many sectors. For example, their 2025 workforce report shows very modest growth compared to the prior year. For you, that means being more selective in where you send your application, maybe lean into roles where the company is actively growing. More companies are insisting on full-time work. Return to office is in full force, and that's reducing flexibility for workers. If your priority is hybrid or remote, this may narrow your options or become a key negotiation point for you. Ask about the actual policy during the process. Now, here's a job search tip of the week, and this is something that I've never heard in the past, so this is a brand new one. Hopefully, this is good for you. So here's your edge. You pick a target company, read its last earnings call transcript, maybe even the last two, but the most recent is the most important. Find a KPI that they flagged for improvement. It could be customer churn, delivery times, return on ad spend, something like that, a metric that they think the street is looking at to decide if they're successful or not. In your cover letter and in your executive summary at the very top, talk about how you can impact that particular thing. You know this is strategic priority for the company, so customize your cover letter, customize your executive summary at the top of your resume based on what they've already told you is important. You can even go as far as reaching out directly to someone on LinkedIn to say, hey, here's how I can impact your customer churn over the next 90 days. I noticed that you have a position available. Would you consider giving me a shot to try this out? All right. That's your job market update for the week. Focus your search where the activity is real, move faster than most, bring proof of impact on every conversation, and I'll see you next week.